Now, Auckland's waterfront has been a real focal point of Cup activity, and Carmen Parahi is standing by at the Waka Maori with Paora Ammunson, the project manager Māori for Te Puni Kōkiri. Carmen, what's the atmosphere like this morning?
Kia ora, Scotty. Well, the atmosphere, it's getting really busy. There are a lot of families walking around and there are a lot of tourists. We also saw Ben Franks and his family walking around and Coach Wayne Smith going for an early morning walk. That was pretty exciting. And also behind me in Waka Maori, a pōwhiri has just started and that'll kick off today's events. Speaking of events, Paora Ammunson. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Carmen.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. Now, your job was specifically set up to help Māori maximise opportunities in the Rugby World Cup.
Yes.
We know you've done a lot. Just give us some of your highlights.
Well, I think I want to start by saying it's really humbling to be part of this momentous moment in time for Māori New Zealand, for New Zealand as a whole. You can see behind us a whole lot of overseas visitors and New Zealanders embracing Māori culture and saying this is how we want New Zealand to be seen by the whole world. And the great thing is seeing Māori New Zealand grab a hold of Rugby World Cup and say this is a time when we want to show the world that we're a vibrant, innovative people and that here we are in 2011. This is what Māoritanga is in 2011. Highlights. Manaakitanga through those team welcomes, the opening ceremony clearly from the time Precious Clark from Ngāti Whātua did that karanga to the world. The execution of that was wonderful. The whole world saw Māori New Zealand as creative, vibrant, exciting, and you see that behind us with Waka Maori now. So those are some of the highlights, but I'll tell you what, at a sort of a lower level, different level.
Well, what were you able to do? What did you have to do to create this?
Well, it's been a lot of work by iwi and Māori communities right across the country for about 2 years of engaging and thinking and planning, and so part of our role was to make sure that people had the information to be able to be to take a role in it if they wanted to take a role in it. Things like working with iwi around the team welcomes, things like the Waka Maori project behind us, things like the support for the Māori television broadcast, the tourism sector, lots of things really.
So Te Puni Kōkiri, Māori Development put $1 million into Waka Maori. Was it worth it?
Well, when you look at the leverage, the profile that Māori culture has received globally, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. If you Google search Māori and Rugby World Cup at the moment, something like 1 million hits comes up. And they're from the UK Telegraph to the Xinhua Times to newspapers in India,
it's
Russia, everywhere, absolutely.
Paora Ammunson, thank you so much for your time and joining us this morning. Ngā mihi nui ki a koe.